Good morning. Please join me in thanking the Rowe High School Orchestra, Symphonic Orchestra, for their beautiful music this morning. And now please stand as students lead us in prayer and pledge and remain standing for the national anthem.
Dear Lord, we thank you for the many blessings that you have sent our way and the reminders that we are surrounded by people who wish us well in our homes, in our schools, and throughout our McAllen community. We ask that you protect them, men and women, who fight in battlefields far from their homes, and that you bring comfort to their loved ones as they pray for their well-being. Guide them home safely. Please give us the wisdom to see your hand in the wonderful things that surround us every day and in every way. And in your name we pray, amen.
And now for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. And now for the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow, okay, I have to remind y'all, we're twice recognized nationally as the best communities for music. Thank you very much. That's how I used to sing when I was younger. Please be seated. Yeah. And now our superintendent, Dr. James Ponce.
That was wonderful. Good morning, everyone. It's always great to have this event, especially as we are about to break for Thanksgiving. I think it's just a great time to thank everyone. And really, I'd like to begin by simply thanking each and every one of you. We sincerely appreciate the many businesses, organizations, and individuals who support our schools through our Partners in Excellence program, one of the largest in the state. You impact our students in many ways as mentors, as speakers, as tutors, and by providing incentives to boost attendance, grades, and behavior. At this moment, I think Bettis is over here, right? A special thanks goes out to the entire community, but especially the Bettis community. We had a little bit of a tragedy, so to speak, rough time, I guess, but it was amazing, and it's amazing and a very proud moment as a superintendent, but also as a citizen of McAllen, to see everyone just come together for the children and the staff at Bettis. Many community members, many of you, many of the businesses, our respective schools. We have the principals here too, just to make sure that we could get back to as much normal as possible in a very difficult time. So we do very much so appreciate your leadership there, Ms. Crounce, and guiding everyone through that. So thank you very much, and thank you to the community for helping them get through that. From all of us at McAllen ISD, Thank you for all that you do for our children each and every day. Now let me introduce some key players in this game, as I like to say. Of course, our board of trustees, and they're all seated right here. We have our board president, Ms. Erica de la Garza. Our board vice president, Mr. Danny Vela. Our secretary, Mr. Sam Salivar Jr. Trustee Debbie Crane Aliceda. Trustee Hilda Garza de Sejo. Trustee Larry Esparza. And Trustee Jonathan Ball. Historically, we've taken this event as an opportunity to update you, our partners, about the latest and greatest in our district. And so I'd like to begin by telling you about Transforming You. It's a unique mentorship program that was created in a partnership with the McAllen Chamber of Commerce, the McAllen Economic Development Corporation, South Texas College, and the United Way, working closely with Big Brothers Big Sisters. It begins with 8th graders and continues through high school in a mentorship that is designed to teach entrepreneurship and business know-how. These are our efforts to build the community's next generation of leaders. At this point, if any of our Transform You partners are with us, we'd like you to please stand and be acknowledged at this time. Our Transforming You, yes? Transforming You. If any would like to desire to join us in our efforts, please contact Rachel. You know, everybody knows Rachel. Rachel, where's Rachel? Rachel's up here. Or Cassandra Rodriguez, the director of Big Brothers Big Sisters here in the Valley. Thank you very much for your support, and of course we thank again the Chamber, MEDC, STC, and United Way for your assistance in this endeavor. One other thing we'd like to share is, as business leaders in our community, I want you all to be the first to know about our advertising opportunities that we're having. We're rolling out Love the Gold, and we're our gold color is our unifying color. We know that we have our 3 comprehensive high schools and our 2 other high schools. But the common thread through all of us and all of McAllen is that gold color that you see. And we're going to roll out a Love the Gold advertising opportunity, and you all will be the first to be on that ticket. And now I'd like to offer our report to the community. I am proud to say we offer specific data that converges into this number, 15,800.
Each and every day, our educators work to create a learning environment where students are encouraged and inspired to ask probing questions, to explore, and to examine. And in that incessant digging for answers, they grow intellectually into the kind of learner who can ultimately prosper in the world that will be their future. Ultimately, today's classroom is about not waiting for that future to happen. It's about reaching forward to bring college instruction into their world today. Our story is best told with this number, 15,800. That's how many college credit hours our students earned while seeking professional licenses, certifications, and associate's degrees, and all in just 1 year. That's college-level instruction that saves our families almost $5 million in college tuition every year. The value of the education provided to students is also reflected in scholarships. This is the 2nd straight year scholarships surpassed $23 million. We're proud to say this incredible work is happening in McAllen ISD schools today. It's provided by top-notch educators through nationally and internationally recognized programs, an extensive offering of advanced and specialized academic coursework that is second to none. Jasmine Miranda's A+ moment is one of many stories of lives transformed through McAllen ISD's advanced academics. She graduated with an associate's degree in early May, a high school diploma in late May, and weeks later, she walked onto a college campus identified as a college senior with about 80 college credits. She describes her A+ moment.
It would have to be when I was accepted at Achieve Early College High School. I knew since the very beginning I wanted to go to college and I wanted to do something, and I always thought I was going to take 4 years to get a bachelor's degree. But when this school opened up and offered free college, which I really greatly appreciate now that I'm at the university, it really helped make my dreams come true and help me get there faster. And I've learned so much and grown as a human being as well.
She's determined to become one of the first to enroll in the region's new medical school, and she recognizes that her success is tied to dual enrollment courses she took at McAllen ISD's Achieve. Whether it's through associate's degree level work in our early college high school, or through our vast offering of dual enrollment and advanced placement courses in our comprehensive high schools, through our globally recognized International Baccalaureate Diploma program, or our Career Technical Education program, our record of excellence, with a framework that has students accruing college credit hours long before they graduate from high school, sets a foundation that makes it possible for students to continue that level of college instruction and to do so at the university of his or her choice. Students understand how this extensive work propels them forward in a way that most school districts can't match. The state recognizes it, and so does the nation.
Can you possibly fail in that time? Which,
Robert
by the
Diaz
way,
is a National Hispanic Scholar with the world on his mind, literally. He plans to attend Notre Dame and major in Middle Eastern Studies before working for the State Department.
I think the Valley in particular represents what a global and multicultural world could look like. And we see a variety of different ethnicities, a variety of different people from different backgrounds come here and interact together in a wonderful learning environment. And I think we have to come to the conclusion that people aren't going to be separated by national boundaries. They are going to, in fact, live in a world that is going to require us to grow closer together, to develop more intricate bonds, so that way we can progress into a greater future.
This young lady has embraced the challenge of high-end courses. She's had her eye on the prize since she was a little girl.
It's definitely very rigorous because I do go to the International Baccalaureate program, and we need to work hard in order to achieve great things. I've been doubling up on science every single year, and because what I want to do is become a doctor. It's been my passion since I was like 6 years old. I feel like whenever I do this, it can pay off in college, and then I can get ahead to being a doctor, because at the rate I'm going right now, I'll be a doctor by the time I'm like 20.
A strong partnership in our community has resulted in Transforming You, a unique mentorship program that matches local businesses with 8th graders. This program is well underway and will continue through high school. It targets entrepreneurship and business know-how, laying the groundwork for the next generation of business leaders. Recognizing the diversity amongst our graduates, the new graduation requirements offer 5 college and career-related endorsements. Because of our extensive advanced course offerings and our partnership with STC, our district can offer all 5, placing our students far ahead of the game. Catherine Perez sings for the state champion McAllen High School Mariachis. A love of music inspired by her father has her following the Arts and Humanities endorsement.
I feel like I'm expressing myself to others in song instead of words. It's a different kind of feeling than just saying it, you know, it's more passionate. And
Daniel Peña is a standout swimmer at Memorial. He likes to teach others to swim, but he plans to follow in his uncle's footsteps by becoming a surgeon.
I like working with people, I like kids. That's why that's one of the reasons that also I want to be a doctor. I like helping people.
This past summer, McAllen ISD was featured at a global IB conference in New York, where much of the conversation centered on one of our middle schools. After years of careful planning and teacher training, in 2015, all our middle and elementary schools will be fully recognized IB World Schools, making ours possibly the first public IB school district in the world. And our students rise to the challenge. In just 1 year, 72 students earned the prestigious IB Diploma Scholar title. 71 earned national academic recognition as advanced placement scholars, and 25 were named National Hispanic Scholars. These students have excelled in our college-level courses and passed the national and international exams to prove it.
McAllen ISD, especially amongst the Valley schools and districts, is really a model for the good things that are happening in Texas and in the United States. That I would say they're at the forefront of education. the institution of iPads in the district, the technology, how much technology is available.
This same attention to detail is reflected in sound business practices that safeguard the public's dollar. Our district has earned the state's highest financial recognition 11 times in 12 years, this time with a perfect score. And we are one of only 22 districts recognized nationally for financial transparency. It's reflected in our attention to the health of our children. Ours is the first Let's Move district in the nation, and education and city leaders nationwide turn to our unified community for guidance. It's reflected in the can-do spirit that led to the revitalization of the McAllen Education Foundation and the awarding of 12 innovative teaching grants in August. It's reflected in our award-winning championships and in our 2-time nationally recognized programs. The district is about providing opportunities for children. It's reflected in our people, in the nurturing taking place in our classrooms, and in colleagues providing care and support for each other. Between football and editing the school newspaper, Josh Godinez is a busy young man. He's won multiple awards for his writing and even qualified at the state level last year. Identified as an AP scholar, Josh is passionate about working hard, reveling in the challenges, and knowing that the payoff will come with expanded knowledge and so much more.
You build up this this grind mentality that, you know what, I don't want to do this right now, but I have to do this because in the end, I want to get that A. I want to pass that test. I want to be able to graduate towards the top of my class. And I know I'm already kind of at a deficit because I'm taking these harder courses maybe. And it's just something that I think will translate into my life later, because you're going to have all these sorts of obstacles in life. You're never going to have the straightforward route, you know? I want to be able to have that grind mentality in my life that I learned in those kinds of courses.
Like Josh, we don't just talk a good game. We've raised the expectations, guiding students to meet and surpass those challenges and preparing them not just to go to college tomorrow, but to continue the college-level work we have already exposed them to in our classrooms today, and to become the kind of inquisitive, forward-thinking leaders that their world demands. We lead the way. We are McAllen ISD.
And because we felt it was important that you hear directly from the students themselves, we've brought together a panel of young men and women for a conversation this morning. Please help them welcome our student representatives.
Good morning. My name is Mark May. I'm going to help moderate. And we have a panel of 5 students. These are all high school seniors representing different programs throughout McAllen ISD. And what we wanted to do was give you a chance to find out a little bit more about these different programs. So they're going to give a quick introduction of themselves, and then we're going to open it up for questions. Just hold up your hand and stand up if you could, and just and give us your question. And the kids up here will be happy to answer. I'm going to start off. Let me introduce them right quick, and we'll start off here. The one nearest to me here on the right is this is Alex Rabinovich. He's representing endorsements. And then we have a lovely lady. This is Lida Asif. She's representing International Baccalaureate. And then we have Mr. Christopher Lopez. He is representing Career Technical Education. And then we have Robert Diaz, who is representing Advanced Placement. And then on the end, in the blue shirt, we have Hector Ortiz, who is representing Dual Enrollment. So let me just start with you, Alex. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what your future plans are, college major, and so on.
Hi, my name's Alex Rabinovich, and I go to Memorial High School, and I'm involved in the AP program at Memorial. And I'm also taking some classes that would qualify me to graduate with an endorsement in multidisciplinary studies, which just pretty much means that I took enough advanced courses throughout high school, and then I also took those courses in a wide range of subjects. You have to take the 4 core subjects all the way through high school to graduate with that endorsement, and you also have to take at least 4, I believe, advanced courses, or you can take an IB course to qualify with that endorsement. At Memorial, I'm involved with the journalism program, and I also play tennis.
Hello, my name is Laiba Asif. I am a student at the IB program at Lamar Academy. My home school is Nicky Rowe High School. Part of the IB program involves taking a variety of courses from what we call different groups of learning. So you have to take one advanced science course, one advanced math course, one advanced foreign language. Actually, for advanced foreign language, you have to take it for at least 4 years, and so forth. So the IB program also involves community and service. So between your junior and senior year, you have to earn 150 hours of community and service in order to graduate with the IB diploma. For all our IB courses, we also require that students do what we call an internal assessment, meaning that for IB, in order to receive credit for that class, we have to do independent research on a topic of our choice. So for example, for my IB History of the Americas course and the IB World History course for my senior year, I actually studied the Lithuanian independence movement and wrote a paper about it and how it contributed to the collapse of the Soviet Union. So, and also connected that with the Afghan-Soviet War because those are my interests. We're also required to do an extended essay, which is about 4,000 words of any topic of our choice. So I did foreign and UN involvement in the Rwandan genocide and how that contributed to the atrocities there. So we have a lot going on at IB, as you can tell. But even though our courses are very rigorous and we have a very heavy load to carry, I'm also very involved in extracurriculars. I'm the editor of my school's literary magazine. I'm the president of the International Baccalaureate Volunteers Organization. I'm the vice president of National Honor Society at Nicky Rowe High School, and I also participate in the Health Occupation Students of America. And I'm also involved with a lot of community and service locally and abroad. So that's just a little about me. I also hope to go, sorry. I also hope to go into global health and medicine in the future, so obtaining a medical degree as well as a master's in public health in order to be involved with medical humanitarian aid and nonprofit work. So.
Hi, I'm Christopher Lopez, and I'm from McAllen. I'm a senior, and I'm representing the Career and Technology Education courses. My junior year, I took BIM, a Digital Interactive Media course, and BIM 2, which is a Business Information Management course. And with that, I got 16 hours from STC, and I actually graduated and earned a certificate as a multimedia specialist. I'm taking a couple more CATE courses, as they're called now. And this is really, as we're going into the future, technology is becoming more and more of a key component of every single job. So I think it's important that the career and technology education courses are really emphasized in school and throughout the community, because they only propel us forward. And I'm probably going to major in economics with a minor in public policy, and we'll see where that takes me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Robert Diaz, and I go to Nicky Rowe High School, and I'm involved in the AP program there and the rigor inherent within that program. For the sake of brevity, I'll just give you some of my goals and what I hope to achieve in the future. Hopefully I'll be studying Middle Eastern studies. I don't know why I have an affinity for disheveled regions, but I do. At Notre Dame, at the University of Notre Dame. So I don't know if there's any fighting Irish in here, but yeah. But yeah, I'm also involved in a lot of extracurricular activities as well. I'm involved in the National Honor Society. Currently I'm doing play for my drama class that's giving me a lot of headaches, but we'll see how it goes. And also Warriors for Christ. So that's pretty much me.
Hello, my name is Hector Ortiz. I'm a junior at Civic Leaders College High School, representing the dual enrollment program. A little bit about our school. What it is we're taking high school and college classes at the same time. We're located on the STC Pecan campus. My major is in engineering. I'm trying to get an associate's degree in that path. I'm student council vice president, member of NHS, community service club that we have in our school, and yeah, that's pretty much
it. Let me open it up for questions now. Does anybody have any questions for anyone on our panel, or something that as a group they can answer? Just hold up a hand. Not yet? Well, let me get the ball rolling here a little bit, and you'll think about it a little bit more, because no one's going to be allowed to leave until somebody asks a question. So let me just start with you, Alex, and we can just go down the line real quickly. Do you have the opportunity for extracurricular activities?
Yeah, definitely at Memorial we do. When I started, when I was in 8th grade and I was kind of choosing my path, did I want to go IB, did I want to go to Memorial? I think that the key thing that really attracted me to Memorial and the AP program at Memorial was the flexibility that it kind of gave me in the rest of my life. Like I said, I play tennis, and I'm also really involved in student government at Memorial, and I was also interested in the journalism program at Memorial. And I definitely think that going to the AP program at Memorial gave me the flexibility that I needed to kind of venture off into those paths. I think that the key thing that we really stress at Memorial is extracurricular involvement. I think that a well-rounded person is really going to thrive in an environment, like in an AP environment at Memorial and at McAllen, at Nicky Rowe. And I know that, I don't know, I've definitely benefited from going to Memorial. I think that it's given me a lot of opportunities to get involved in different kind of paths that aren't necessarily, I'm not necessarily going to be a journalist when I grow up, and I'm not going to be a professional tennis player, but I definitely think that it gives me the well-rounded kind of character that you need to really succeed in college, and then after that into whatever career path that you're interested in. I would like to go to the business honors program at UT, and I definitely think that I'm going to be prepared for that by involving myself in extracurriculars at Memorial, and then also taking those rigorous courses in the AP program. So yeah.
Hello. When it comes to extracurriculars at the IB program, a lot of students, because of the rigor of our program, have trouble balancing that whole aspect of being academically very strong in participating in a rigorous program, as well as completing extracurricular activities. So it's really up to the students to take a little bit of initiative and manage their time well in order to pursue both their academic and social interests. So the way that I had managed that was coming into my freshman year, I had this mentality that even if I would be up all night studying or working on different projects, I was going to make it a point to follow every interest of mine, no matter what obstacle came my way. So I think that for IB students, a lot of them have to grow and develop that mentality in order to be able to really follow their interests, such as playing a sport or being involved in a publication of sorts. One thing about IB that I really appreciated was that our curriculum is centered around global mindedness. We have what we call global contexts, which include they include what we call sustainability. They include human creativity and different aspects of the world that really need to be explored by students, and that maybe a lot of students don't necessarily have exposure to them. So the global contexts have changed over the years, but when I first started IB, the global contexts were community and service. They were environments and all sorts of different things. So these global contexts are always integrated in the courses that we take.
Vida, thank you so much. And let's see if we have any other questions out there. Oh, yes, sir.
I do. Each of you seems to be very grounded in a vision for your life. I'm just curious, and I'd like to start with you in the middle. I wanted to ask you, what drives this vision that you have, that's obviously evident in all 5 of you, and it's very inspiring, but what drives that vision? What is it that moves you on this path?
And let me just repeat the question right quick so we have it on tape and everyone can hear. But the question is, first for you in the middle, is just what drives you, what creates your vision, and what gives you the motivation? All 5 of you seem to have it. And let's start with you, Chris Lopez. Go ahead.
Well, for me, and I think I can speak for the rest of the panel, it's the intellectual vitality that drives us. We want to learn. We want to better the community. We want to better serve the world that has served us. And with that goal in mind, we strive to do our best. We strive to go the longest yard. We do everything we can in our power to propel ourselves and our future community into the world of like misdemeanor right here, where everything is going wrong, but not everything is going wrong. So we're trying. We're just looking to better serve the world. That's what I think.
I think we all, it's much more than just seeking, minor cognitive development. It's actually about being compassionate. And I know everybody here on the stage has like this genuine compassion for what happens to humanity collectively. And surely this expands into the career paths we want to go to. Mine's pretty specific and pretty particular. And that just really outlines it all. That sums it up.
Any other questions? We have time for one more. Oh, yes, go ahead. Okay, in 20 years, who's going to be the teacher that you're going to remember? All right. And why don't we just go, let's go real fast. And Hector, let's go ahead and start with you. We'll come down this way. And just a real quick teacher that you're going to remember the rest of your life. Oh, yeah, we'll give you the mic that works.
Hello. The teacher that I will most remember 20 years from now, I think would probably be Miss Samaniego, my 10th grade English teacher. I was down in the dumps. I was like going through heavy depression of just stress in school and basketball and just church and many things that I was going through. And she just, I don't know, like the way that teachers speak out to you and kind of protect you and say, you got this. It was life-changing. I just really, we'll never forget it.
The teacher I will remember is actually my current English teacher, Miss Gilchrist. I have never read so much in my life. But she is incredibly delightful, and she has this persona and this tremendous vitality that she brings to the classroom every day, and it's really quite inspiring, and it's awesome. She's so eccentric, and she's so she has so many personalities. She's so But no, she is genuinely awesome. I really do love her. No, she is quite simply one of the best teachers I've ever had. You know what? The best teacher I've ever had. She's never, I've never been pushed so hard in my life. And she knows and she sees potential and she kind of hunts it out. And she'll give you a hard time, but at the end of the day, you know that she's doing it for your own success, and it's really quite wonderful just seeing somebody so determined to see you succeed. It's fantastic.
The teacher I'll most remember is Miss Diana Carcanio, my current English teacher. She is absolutely brilliant. She's quite the character. She always knows how to make the class laugh and make even the most boring of poems the best things in the world. And without her, she's been one of my role models throughout high school. She's been a close family friend for many years, and it's a pleasure being a student of hers, being in her classroom. It's full of learning and questions and piqued interests. It's something you don't get on an everyday basis, but it's wonderful, and I love her for it, and I'll thank her every day.
Wow. The teacher that I'll most remember. It's a pretty tough question because I've had so many amazing teachers throughout the years, so I want to recognize that even though there is one that that really spoke to me, they all have. So, but if I had to name one, I would probably say that the teacher that would most stick to me is Miss Diana Munoz. She is the freshman world geography teacher and the senior world history teacher at IB. Talking about my goals, I've never been more passionate about going into global health and nonprofit work. And it all started with her class freshman year. She forced us to see how geography actually matters and how how history and geography have contributed to creating some of the world's greatest problems today. So not only are we studying the past, but she consistently connects it to our present. And the first time I was ever exposed to any aspect of global health was in her class when it was actually something really brief she had mentioned. She talked about Jared Diamond's guns, germs, and steel, and she talked about the germs part. And she showed us a clip of a documentary of Jared Diamond in Africa with children who were suffering from malaria and dying. It was the first time I realized that there's people out there who are sick and have no hope of survival. And from that moment, I was completely dedicated to solving that. I owe her all my dreams and everything I'll accomplish in the future.
Okay, I'm going to backtrack a little bit from high school. I've had some phenomenal teachers in high school, but I think that I can definitely pinpoint my 5th grade teacher at Gonzales, Mrs. Diaz. She definitely like showed you the light. I think that when I was a kid, I think seriously transitioning from elementary to middle school was like probably the most nerve-wracking thing for me. And she made every kid feel like they were important and that they were going to be amazing going on through middle school and high school, and I definitely think she impacted me the most. So yeah, I get a little sad thinking about her class, and actually recently I was talking with my friends, and we were all talking about how much we missed that class. She was an awesome teacher, and I definitely appreciate what she gave us in elementary school.
Thank you so much, our student panel, everyone. And now for the next segment of our presentation, would you please help us welcome the co-chairs for our Facilities Forecast Advisory Committee, Gina Karam-Millen and Mr. Mike Blum.
Good morning. Wow, those kids were incredibly impressive. I hope I can be as well-spoken. As Mark mentioned, I'm Gina Millen, and this is Mike Blum, and we're the co-chairs for the MISD Facilities Forecast Advisory Committee. And I just want to give you a little brief snippet of our background. Mike has kids that went through the MISD system. For those of you that know those kids, you know that they're creative and brilliant, and I'm sure they had many of the same experiences that were shared with you by the panel. My kids are in elementary school, and while they're receiving a tremendous education, I can only hope as a parent that someday they'll be sitting up there and they'll be poised enough to be able to address a group like you in the manner that they just did. So with that being said, I know I can speak for Mike when I say that we are honored to be able to serve MISD in our community in our current capacity as co-chairs of this committee. The committee is made up of over 120 people that are teachers and parents and community members. And it gave all of us a very unique opportunity to be able to tour each and every school and facility of MISD so that we could determine what the needs are going forward. And when we went through the schools, I think what we were most surprised about as a committee was all the wonderful things that we saw happening in the classrooms. We saw some of these things happening, and it was impressive and it was inspiring. And it's happening in spite of the tremendous need that MISD faces in terms of the conditions of the facilities. So you're about to watch a very brief video that summarizes our work for the last 15 months. And when you're watching the video, ask yourself, how many more of these moments, how many more students could we produce if we had state-of-the-art facilities that were updated, renovated, rebuilt? That is the question that we are asking ourselves right now as we narrow down what our recommendation is going to be to the school board come January. We would love to have your input. We really would. And we're both easy to get a hold of. And we have about 6 weeks to narrow down the recommendations. So now is the time. If you have suggestions or input, our ears are wide open and we welcome your input.
Schools can be the heart and soul of a community, beacons of learning, centers of pride in neighborhoods, a place where young minds are nurtured, and once we grow up, they remain cornerstones to our childhood. Some of McAllen's schools have stood tall for more than half a century, and a major milestone is fast approaching. As McAllen ISD heads toward its 100th anniversary as a district, it is time to assess the state of the buildings that house our community's richest resource, our children. In a nearly year-long endeavor, concerned citizens organized a committee to assess just where we are with our facilities and how learning and teaching are being impacted. They found that the state of an edifice can affect the rest of the community in multiple ways, and that neighboring schools just down the road are moving quickly toward a modern transition. Beginning in August 2013, more than 100 concerned citizens were brought together. Some worked in our schools, some were teachers, others were parents, others community representatives, all with one commonality: they cared about this community and its future.
We knew at this point in our kind of history of the district that we needed input, and we needed input from the community to figure out what was going to be the facility needs of our district going forward.
They formed the Facilities Forecast Advisory Committee, working together to take a hard look at our facilities. Over a span of 10 months, they met 83 times to identify, prioritize, and quantify needs with the goal to produce 21st century competitive schools. The committee's first job was to assess what we have. They divided into groups and visited every campus and building in the district, all of them, and they recorded their findings. At the same time, professionals gave everything a close inspection. Jacobs Engineering specializes in educational facilities.
Well, there's like 400 pages of data on every building and in minute detail.
The most telling fact, 40% of district facilities are 40 years old or older.
I think it's safe to say that most of us are not driving a 40-year-old car. And if we're living in a 40-year-old house, it's probably time to replace something like maybe the air conditioning or the roof or maybe a whole new kitchen. Well, our schools are no different. Things wear out.
Here are the committee findings. On the plus side, teachers are making good use of what they have. Technology is used daily. Newer schools are competitive, and the buildings are structurally sound.
As a whole, our committee was very pleased with what they saw with regard to what is happening in the schools. The teachers are doing a marvelous job with the facilities they have. And it left us to wonder what it would be like if they had facilities that were top-notch. It would be that much better.
Areas of concern include a disparity among learning environments and aged structures. Many are older than similar facilities in neighboring school districts. In fact, McAllen's newest high school building, Nicky Rowe, is older than PSJA School District's oldest high school building. The findings have been divided into 4 categories. The first is educational adequacy. All is not level across the district. Take the mariachis from McAllen High School, for example. They won the state championship in 2014, all while perfecting their craft in an old portable building and a 50-year-old auditorium, and competing against districts where students are provided with wonderfully equipped performing arts centers, like these in La Jolla and Weslaco. And libraries. Some older schools have had to convert their already limited classroom space into much-needed library space, while others have full-fledged modern libraries. Then science labs. The committee felt there was a large disparity in these facilities from school to school.
Some of the schools had no science labs at all, and so we as a committee believe that all of the schools should have top-notch science laboratories for the kids to learn because of the industry that's coming to the Valley.
Access to technology is also uneven due to an older school's internal infrastructure. Other concerns include career technical education facilities. About 2,400 students participate in these programs, earning professional licenses and certifications. But due to modern facility and equipment standards, there are some advanced certifications the district is not able to offer.
If the tools that we have and equipment we have and the facilities that we have are modern and up to date, there's going to be a seamless transition from the school into the workplace.
It's not an issue of maintenance, the group learned. It's an issue of space and growth, facilities. The same issue arises in athletics, where more than 7,000 students participate. Also, safety and security concerns. Although every school is equipped with a visitor management system, some older schools are not enclosed, and not all have security cameras.
There's a huge difference between the newer schools that were built within the last 7 years versus older schools that were built, say, 40 or 50 years ago.
Other areas include campus needs both inside and out, plus mechanical systems. Everything has a lifespan. Big-ticket items like chillers used to cool an entire building typically are designed to last about 20 years.
At some point, you have to put on a new roof. You have to put in new air conditioning. You have to put in new technology because technology changes. How many of us remember typing on a typewriter?
Older equipment impacts efficiency. Such factors can also impact employee morale.
We're going to lose teachers because they are going to be looking at going to places where their life is easier because they have better facilities.
It is clear a need exists. McAllen has a long tradition of providing for the next generation of children. It's why our city has grown from a collection of small farms next to a railroad depot to the thriving metropolis of 130,000 today.
What we learned in 2013 is that McAllen, Texas, McAllen School District, property tax base, $5.8 billion. It's the largest of all the districts which surround us. That's the size of the district in terms of its taxable value. We also have, because of that, it's not in my slide. Because of that, we get less money from the state. You know, we do good, but we get penalized financially from the state. And so we have to do more with less, even though we have a high tax base. Next slide. We also have the lowest tax rate among our neighboring cities, which is a terrific compliment to the school district because it has been doing more with less and less from the state too. Next one. And the biggest number is, in spite of all that we have seen and heard, McAllen has the lowest ad valorem tax bond debt. We don't owe a lot of money as compared to our neighbors. So we know going forward, this district, we as taxpayers, are in the best possible position. We have a financially stable district. We have an award-winning financial transparency staff that do a really great job at counting the beans and making sure that things that are done properly. And we have the ability to incur debt without having to overburden ourselves as taxpayers. Over the next months, Gina, who runs this ship, is going to drive us into the conclusion of where we as a district want to go. And with the wisdom of our incredible elected officials, they're going to be able to take this, see if I can remember this number, Connie, where are you? $517 million asset. That's the taxable value of the district, the buildings, $517 million buildings alone that they manage. $250 million annual budget that they manage. We trust them to do that, and we'll have to trust them to take us into the next decade. Thank you.
I think these slides are up there just to illustrate the need for improved facilities because of the medical school that's coming, and as I mentioned in the video, the SpaceX platform that's coming, and the industry that's going to bring with it, and the need to improve our facilities because along with these new businesses, we're going to get an influx of people moving into the valley, and we want to attract them to our schools. And so I think that's all that we wanted to say about those two slides. Again, I want to thank you so much for your support and encourage you to get involved if you'd like to. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. So before I get started, I don't want to miss anybody, but I do want to recognize our true partners that help us every day to ensure that we get the work done for our students. So we do have Commissioner Scott Crane here. Good morning. He's here. Commissioner Veronica Whitaker was here this morning. We have UT Board Regent Ernie Aliseda is here this morning. We also had MEDC Keith Patridge was here this morning, and I believe Mr. Steve Alanius is still here with the chamber. Thank you. And Ms. Shirley Reed with STC. We thank you so much for your commitment to our city and our children and the future of our community. So going back to Gina and Mike's presentation, we, the board, would like to thank them so much and the committee for all the work that they've done. As a parent myself and a member of this community, I am so grateful for the work that you have done for the past 12 to 18 months. And we know that we must acknowledge that none of this is easy. The work that our teachers and our administrators do every day is extremely difficult. It is by far the most innovative in our region, and we see it. Our state recognizes it, the nation recognizes it, and we McAllen know it. It's validated by the report that we just heard and the messages from our students themselves. I am so proud, and the students, like the ones that were here today, inspire me every day to want to do better. And to that, the work that our Community-Based Facilities Committee has done. They have spent over a year with over 120 members of teachers, administrators, parents, community business leaders, all working together after hours, during the day, on their time off, days off, weekends, to tour every single facility, every single structure that McAllen owns to see how we could do better. The work that they have done is not yet completed, but the work that has gone into it to date is sincerely appreciated by everyone on this board. We recognize that our position is difficult, but what does this truly mean to our community, to McAllen that we all love so much? For the McAllen that drew me back after finishing college at Texas A&M, and many others from very many different universities who have come back to invest in their futures here locally. I have to conclude that we recognize and we know that our educators pull off miracles every day when they are working in less than optimal surroundings. Imagine what they could do and what our students could achieve if they had 21st century science labs, if the space and the equipment in their career and training environments in our medical training labs were competitive, even just to neighboring districts. to allow more students to take advantage of all of the opportunities that we at McAllen ISD offer. Right now, our classes are so limited because the space that we have to offer them is limited. And in some cases where we have over 100 students that want to sign up for a particular career track, the space only will allow for 60 to 80 students. So we leave out so many students because we don't have the capacity. What we've heard today about our academic programs is outstanding, and it should make everybody in this room proud. Clearly, if our facilities didn't create daily obstacles for our teachers and our students, they could do so much more. And I, for one, I want more. Our students, our teachers, our community deserves more. We can do better, and we will do better, because we are McAllen. We are the epicenter of Hidalgo County and this region, and I would say we are the best community around. And to stay that way, we must invest in our future. We must invest in our students and our city. So thank you all for being here today. It is always a pleasure to have you and to see all of our wonderful staff outside of the classrooms. On behalf of the board, we'd like to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. And thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Mr. De La Garza. We've devoted this morning to some pretty heavy subjects all around how we want to make certain our children are prepared to lead the way when they leave us. And in closing, I'd like to bring us back a little bit. Like we say, everything we've learned when we were in kindergarten, that's what we learned today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to introduce to you 14 exceedingly talented kindergartners who come to us from Thigpen Zavala Elementary. There they are. Ms. Casas, our principal. Where's Ms. Casas? Okay, there she is. They're proud of their newly acquired skills and eager to show them off to you today. That's our principal in the front row. As I said, on their behalf, it is my extreme pleasure to welcome you to the world of the turkey tango. And I think you're going to have to get up in the middle of the turkey tango, find a partner, and do the turkey tango. I think that's what it said. Okay, you have to stay standing. It's your turn. That was the. No, thank you, Jill. Thank you from Thigpen Zavala. One more hand as they walk out. Thank you so much. Their teacher also, I know. Thank you so much. That was fun to watch. You always get that smile and bring it back up and set us off. As you head out the door, we ask that. As you head out the door, we ask that you may take a moment to thank a teacher. The older children that you met this morning will be standing next to 3 cameras that are positioned outside on the lawns and in the breezeways. Please walk up to one of them and quickly say 3 things: your name, the name of your business, and a short statement about a teacher who made a difference in your life, who is creating A+ moments in the lives of children today. We want our educators to know that our entire community appreciates them. Once again, thank you so much. Have a safe and wonderful Thanksgiving with your loved ones. Thank you again.